Hey there! Welcome back to Reddit Dating, best channel for cheating stories. Make sure to like and subscribe the channel for more spicy stories.
Married for 19 years before my wife cheated on me. This is my first time posting on Reddit, so bear with me. I'll be 75 years old in July, and I've seen a lot in my time. To be completely honest, I wanted to share my tale with the younger generation before I passed away. Because I have lung cancer and don't expect to be around for much longer, it is critical that this information be made public. In 1964, I was 18 years old and got married. The feeling I'm having is that I'm not even the same person anymore. I used to be in excellent physical condition, but now I'm confined to a wheelchair. My wife and I were both forced to work full-time because I did not have enough income to sustain both of us on our own. I worked in construction, and she worked in a hotel as a housekeeper. We never had children, so we had plenty of free time on the weekends to spend with each other. I don't recall any disagreements between us, but it's been so long that I'm forgetting specifics. We were, however, very friendly and didn't have any problems getting along. Over time, I began to earn more money, and she was able to leave her work and devote her time to her children. I did, however, work longer hours at night, and our marriage ultimately became more of a friendship, to be honest. We didn't spend much time together, and even though I still adored her, I felt something was missing. We didn't spend nearly enough time together toward the conclusion of the semester. With my employment, I accept full responsibility for sending us down the incorrect path. As you will see later on, this was not the only problem, but I should have addressed it while I still had the opportunity to do so. When I go home from work one evening, everything appears to be as it should be. Dinner was served, and the television was tuned to baseball, which used to be one of my favorite sports back in the day. I chatted with her for a few minutes in the kitchen before retiring to my room to change out of my work clothes. On my nightstand, I discovered a box of condoms when I went to check on my things. The fact that I had a vasectomy years before this and had never used condoms caused me to become concerned. I immediately inquired of my wife about them, and she was unable to come up with an adequate explanation in time. She burst into tears and confessed her deception to the group. In order to pass the time while I was away, she invited a coworker over for dinner, and she evidently neglected to dispose of the condoms. After hearing it, I'm not afraid to confess that I shed a few tears as well. She said that she was just not attracted to me, was lonely, and had never enjoyed our relationship. I didn't know what to say and ended up leaving without saying anything at all. I was devastated. After 19 years of marriage, my wife and I decided to separate. I was a complete and utter wreck when I was in my 40s. I had completely lost all confidence and motivation to continue. I began to consume alcoholic beverages and gradually developed into an alcoholic. It took me until I was in my 60s before I was able to break this habit. I couldn't look myself in the eyes and not see myself as a failure of a man, so I didn't. I wanted to start dating again, but I was afraid that the same thing would happen again. It had never occurred to me that I was a lousy sleeper, and I honestly didn't know what to say in response. Even though my skin began to wrinkle, particularly on the backs of my legs, I maintained my figure for a time, and when I had throughout our marriage, I swear she seemed to relish the fact that I was still in shape. I maintained my tough man persona far into my 30s, and I continued to wear my bandana throughout, which was a major turn-on for her. I was always generous and willing to go down on her when she asked me to do so. I utilized rings to keep my erection strong, and I could always go extra hard, which was something she had as a fetish. If I gave it my all, there was no way I could possibly do anything else. I began to consider the possibility that dating at an older age was not that vital as time went on, and I began dating again approximately 5 years after I had last done so. We don't have a particularly busy lifestyle, but she informed me that there was nothing wrong with my health. I remarried last year, which was a wonderful experience, but unfortunately, it was also the time when I was diagnosed with cancer. My energy has dwindled significantly since then, and my new wife is the only one who can keep me going. We are attempting chemotherapy, but the outlook is grim. In order to make the world a better place in my remaining days, I want to impart some of the information I've accumulated over the years. My mental faculties are also deteriorating, so I must take action now before it is too late to reverse the trend. I hope that everyone who reads this can take something away from it to make their lives better. Story 2. I'm 99% sure he's cheating. So I live with my best friend and her husband. And when I say best friend, I don't mean someone I've known a few years. I've literally known her my entire life. We're super close and tell each other pretty much everything. But I feel like I can't tell her this. Not yet. Her husband, who has a history of being less than faithful, is cheating. I'm almost certain, and part of what makes me certain I can't really say. I did check her phone when I had the chance and their messages are very blah, but I always see him on his phone texting and giggling. I've caught him taking selfies at home, but none of them I saw on her phone. In his free time when they're both home, he doesn't really go near her until bedtime. In fact, he'll go into another room a few minutes after she comes in. He'll say he has to go all the way into their room to charge his phone, but it's not like his phone charger is stationary. I know they have some issues, but she's basically helped him build his entire life from the ground up. She got his credit in amazing shape, helped him get a car, he works a well-paying job. But he's struggling with depression, and I think he's straying to help himself feel better. Which would be fine if they had an open relationship or he just left. But I know he won't because she does everything for him while he claims to not know how. She takes good care of him and keeps his and all of our lives in check even when she's spiraling down her own mental hole. Recently, he's started doing things to better himself. He's quit smoking, started cleaning up his mess in their room, wants to take better care of his skin. He dyed his hair and got a nice haircut. He wants to start working out and eating better even though he's already in shape. And I am very sure all of this is for the other woman. As my friend's been telling me these new resolutions, I've been trying to hint that maybe he's doing it for someone else. I do make it kind of light, but try to also hold a concerned tone. I just don't know how to tell her or if I should just outright say it. I want to tell her to confront him, but he's lied semi-successfully in the past. I want to tell her to check his phone when he's not thinking about it, because that's also been semi-successed up, but it's also led to a blowout. I know she'd be devastated if she found out. I honestly don't know if she could handle it. She's been trying to have a baby while he's been barely trying. She wants to do great things to help people, and he seems to only care about himself. If she found out, I honestly think it would be the last straw for her. I hate having this weigh on me with no one to ask or talk to. Any friends we have would tell her if they knew. But they also don't know the extent of her mental issues or their relationship. Not like I do after living with them for 8 years. I guess this post is half seeking advice, half needing to get this out because it's killing me. I also may or may not have texted him from a burner number asking if his wife knows he's cheating, but he thinks it's just a scam. I hope that's just a front and he's panicking and will finally nut up and tell her himself.